Good afternoon, fellow Trevor Winners. How are you doing today? It's Stephen here, back with another video, and I've got some very good news for you, some wonderful news. The international break is nearly over. We're finally back to Manchester City Football Club very, very soon, and I can't wait to chat about all things Manchester City because I can't be bothered with the international break as it stands right now. I can't be bothered at all. Guys, please do me a massive favour. Please like this video, help support the channel, subscribe. Of course, there will be preview content and all the kind of usual stuff coming up ahead of the Liverpool game. And I can't wait to be talking Manchester City again. It can't wait. Not just transfer rumours, actual good old football news. But today is a transfer rumour kind of day. Today is that kind of day when we go through all the news currently around Manchester City and dive through it, including Kvaratskhelia, Bernardo Silva, Neves, and more to talk about today. I also want to quickly jump over to this wonderful competition over on Football Prizes. Do you want to win literally a once-in-a-lifetime level prize? You could win a VIP trip to Belgrade. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but the one you want to pay attention to is that it ends in 2 hours, this competition. 2.5 hours. Well, actually, no, 3.5 hours, sorry, as I'm recording this at 4 o'clock. You could win the following. You could win a 2-night stay in Belgrade. So basically, a couple of weeks' time, you could go to Belgrade from Manchester on a private jet from a private Manchester airport terminal, 5-star hotel accommodation, private transfer to a Michelin-star restaurant, Belgrade city centre experience, Red Star Belgrade versus Man City pre-match function, match day tickets and post-match drinks and hospitality, and then a private jet back. I mean, it's literally like living like a footballer, like a superstar. If you want to enter that, look, you've got literally until 7:30 tonight. There's only 200 tickets left, as you can see there. Go and give it a go. And there's loads of instant win prizes as well. All these prizes that you can potentially win if you choose these tickets and it comes through. You can also get the main prize as well if that ticket comes out. But you can choose one of these instant win prizes and fingers get a little bit lucky. Like there's stuff there like Samsung soundbar, Dyson vacuum, PlayStation game, whatever. Give it an enter right now if you want to. Hopefully, it's like a cost of a cup of coffee, £4, $3.95, and you could win the best ever prize. It could be absolutely phenomenal. Good luck to all those who enter. So, let's go to the rumours. Today's rumour is about Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. Basically, Kvaratskhelia, of course, a Napoli star, a left winger. Apparently, according to 90 Minutes, verified by other Man City sources, City have been watching this guy. The article says Chelsea, City, and Newcastle and United all had representatives intended to watch Kvaratskhelia during Georgia's 3-1 defeat to Spain on Sunday. 90 Minutes understands. They watched the two nations play out the final Euro 24 qualifier. They had the winger under the microscope. He scored Georgia's only goal of the game, grabbing a first-half equaliser. And he's doing really well at Napoli right now. He's 22 years old. His current deal runs to 2027, and apparently he's in talks to maybe extend his contract, which could be the crux of this. I would love this guy. At Manchester City. I would. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Napoli sort of lock it down, unfortunately, to insane levels of money. And I also think the emergence of Jeremy Doku and the fact that Jack Grealish is around and Phil Foden and whatever, too many could play on the left. And I think this is sort of. I think in an ideal world, if City needed a left winger, I think we'd be in for him. If he was affordable. Do I think Manchester City like Kvaratskhelia? Yeah, I do. Absolutely. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, for a myriad of reasons. But it's interesting to know who is on Manchester City's list and who they're scouting. And I think this guy is there because you never know what could happen in football. He could become available for one day. Doku could. Anything could happen to Doku or Grealish. You never know how football can go. And City are always planning for any eventuality. Anything can happen in football at any moment, We've seen what happens when you can lose, transfer targets just like that with Paqueta, You could have something happen off the pitch that loses a player for ages. You never know in football how things can go. So you've always got to have a collection of players that you can maybe one day go for that could sort of round out your squad. And Kvaratskhelia, he's a wonderful player. I also love the fact that one of his favourite players is Georgia Kinkladze. So he's also got that Manchester City. Probably got a slight Man City love there. I'm not saying he's a City fan, but But I reckon he probably does know Man City really well, and I reckon he's probably got a slight soft spot for us. As Alice Cooper in the chat says, another Georgian after Kinky. I would love it. Imagine. I think he's going to be a cracking winger. I think rumours like this, I don't even know if they are scouting him. I'd be surprised if maybe they are, but to me, I think all likelihood is they're watching any number of players. If it's Georgia, Spain, there's probably a whole bunch of players they're watching. And someone said, Kvara in the chat, Elder says he's too similar to Grealish. To be honest, I think he's actually the perfect blend of Doku and Grealish. But he's got the sort of like the physicality, I'd say, of a Grealish and the ball retention. But he's a better dribbler. He's more of a tricky player then, but not quite as good a dribbler maybe as Doku's. And Doku's the best dribbler in Europe at the moment. So I reckon there's something in that in terms of there's bits of both, but I still think he's more of a dribbler than Jack Grealish. And it could be that maybe Doku ends up on the right in Manchester City. I think at some point, Kvaratskhelia was on City's list, and probably still is, but I really believe the emergence of Jeremy Doku. Doku is absolutely fantastic, and he's showing signs of getting better. I do think all that stuff has sort of played into... played him into long-term plans at Manchester City Football Club. I think the development of him, and I've seen some of the passes that Doku was playing international, by the way. I know he's only against Azerbaijan, but he's got a through ball in Doku. He's got a really nice pass. He's more creative than we realise. If he just gets a little bit better, Doku, he could be special. He's already very good. He doesn't need to get vastly better to be special. He could just get better, and it could be a world-class winger very, very simply. And we forget he's only 21 years old and only a few months into his spell under the greatest manager in the history of the game. Imagine him after a little bit of time, what Doku could do. Look, I like this guy. I like it, but I think my verdict on this rumour is that this is a 4 out of 10 rumour right now. Like, it is a rumour that we probably have watched him. I think there's validity in that, but anything to get excited about? Probably not, in my opinion. You know, there is many more players I think City would be interested in. Neymar in the chat says maybe Zubamenda of Spain. Yeah, potentially. Look, they'll be watching a few players. I mean, it could be, as Matt said, maybe that Grealish could move central one day. You know, you never know. Doku could move on the right. Look, there's many potential options, and City will eventually have to, at some point, sign a winger again. But Daniel said Napoli will drive a hard bargain, and I agree with that in the chat as well. And to be honest, I would rather have Leroy back as well. Yeah, Leroy Aspie, imagine. Don't get me started on Leroy Sané. You saw my video the other day on that. Other news as well. Bernardo Silva was talking a little bit over on my website here, esteemedcompany.com. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out, esteemedcompany.com. He was talking a bit about how he's going to be an agent there, a secret agent for us, and try and persuade Benfica starlet João Neves to choose City over Rivals United. Graham Bailey and Sean Walsh of 90 Minutes have previously reported that City is leading the race for the young signature. Phil Hager, the Metro, reported that City United have sent scouts to monitor him as well. He's a really special player. Bernardo was asked about it. He said, João, in the Premier League, I think that players of quality can play in any championship. I see him very focused on his club, which is the most important thing at the moment. A very young player with a very promising future ahead of him. So for City instead of United, if I can, I'll pull strings to get João to go to Man City. I'd like to see João joining City instead of United, of course. Lovely stuff. Yeah, absolutely a quality player. He looks like an excellent. He looks like the next Rodri, for being honest. The way he plays, like tucked in shirt, big, strong, powerful, technical defensive midfielder. Problem is, do we really need him right now? Do we need him? I saw some rumours going around that we could be watching him, but I think they'll. I don't know. Maybe they will do. Maybe they'll go for someone they can rotate. Maybe we know that they do want that kind of player because, of course, we wanted Declan Rice, someone who can be physical and athletic and play alongside Rodri would be very good. But then there were rumours that Paqueta's still be watched and Florian Wirtz. We are going to sign a midfielder next summer. It could be him. There was also a sad bit of news about Bernardo Silva, unfortunately. Bernardo did say, look, I want to return to Benfica one day. He talked about his future. If the club wants me at the time, obviously things will happen. So he's incapable of playing for Porto or Sporting. Apparently, he isn't against the idea of Barcelona one day, but he'd love to go back to. I think apparently he's a Boyan Barcelona fan, but either way, look, I think that's the most likely scenario. I'm hoping he stays at Manchester City for 2 or 3 years, then goes back to Benfica. I think he knows that they probably can't afford him right now. But Bernardo, look, when Bernardo goes, look, do 10 years, mate. You joined in 2017, right? It's 2000. It'll be 2004, 2024 by the time this season finishes. Look, just get to another 3 seasons after that, or 2 seasons after that, and you'll be end of 20. 2 more seasons after that will be 2025, 2020. Oh yeah, 3 more seasons. It'll end of 2027. Do 10 years, man, and go back home. It would be wonderful, wouldn't it? I would love to see that. Like, that to me would be the ideal scenario where Bernardo Silva stays around for 2-3 years, goes on a free transfer to Benfica, and everyone is really, really happy. He obviously has allegedly, got that release clause in his contract, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is on that front. I sort of get it to an extent. I think it's entirely about being near his family. I think it's entirely about the weather. Like, he loves Manchester City. I don't think he loves the city to live in. And I sort of get it, Manchester is not the most glamorous city in the world. It's a great city, but it isn't the most glamorous. And I think he wants to go back to Portugal, after City. And I think I get it. He's a homely boy, and I'd understand that too, especially if I've got family there, and he's got a little kid now, hasn't he, as well? Look, if I was a footballer and I had family, say I was from Portugal and I played here, if I had family, like grandparents at home, I would be like, yeah, I'm taking my kid back and playing there because I think it's important for them to be around my mum and dad. I would do that. And it's funny because I think people look down on this as if they're not human beings, but I get it to an extent, I get it. Ultimately, they are just human beings, and they need family around them too. So if he wants to go back to sunnier climates and have his kid raised around his parents, I get it, man. I get it. There's loads there's the quotes, by the way. I'll jump over here again. It's pretty blunt. He said, I want to return to Benfica in the future. The club wants me. Obviously, things will happen. He said, hearing Pep say those things, he says it's a source of pride. I can say that even outside of football. I have a very special relationship with him. Yeah, Pep talks a lot about how he loves him. He's talked a lot about how he feels like he's failed at Portugal as well, which I don't think is your fault, mate, really. There he is there. An absolute don, looking beautiful there with his beautiful wife as well, his beautiful family. He's a beautiful man, Bernardo. He's doing really, really well. There was some rumours going around as well. Let me just go to Tommy, who's the resident in the know at Manchester City Football Club, and he was talking a little bit how Man City are actually going to kick up a bit more of a fuss actually now about the hacking as well, where Liverpool hacked our database, which is really interesting. World exclusive Premier League pressure to investigate Liverpool alleged hack of scouting database between 8 months of 2012-2013. Look, if I'm being honest, I don't think a lot will happen about this. I don't think it will. I can't see City getting anything from the Premier League for this. But what I can tell, what I've read up, is that more a case that they didn't change the password, which is it's not an excuse, but it's not like they had literally hacked in. They just logged in with all details, which I don't think people will see as that bad. It is bad, it is, but I don't think there's going to be an outroar for this. I think City are right to look. Liverpool are going to sling mud at us. They're right to sling mud back because they aren't a perfect club by any stretch of the imagination. So that's an interesting one. That was what Tommy was saying there as well about João Neves, 103 million buyout clause, but we won't go near that, I don't think. Someone asked me in the chat what would be my perfect January transfer window. It probably would just be Paqueta, Get Paqueta in if you can, but the only problem is we have to wait to see, of course, if he gets cleared of the charges against him. Paqueta, I am really 100% behind right now. I think he would have been perfect for us. I think he's that great link between defense, midfield, forward line that we need, and he's getting better and better and better. Paqueta, quality player. But guys, I just wanted to run through those transfer rumours today and have a quick chat to you guys. Don't forget as well, enter the football prizes competition if you want to. It ends at 7:30 tonight. You could win an incredible VIP trip to Belgrade for the game. You get 5-star hotel, Michelin restaurant, loads of wonderful stuff. Go and enter it right now. Let me know what you make of those rumours down in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. Tomorrow, the previews will start for the Liverpool game, and I cannot wait. In a bit, thanks for watching. You're all superstars. Up the Blues, treble winners.